Hey, Miss Hughes, how are you? I'm about to do my career enlightening presentation on this video since we're in quarantine right now. I hope you and your family are safe during this and you guys hopefully get a nice break. So I did my career enlightening experience at Crowfield Dental right here in Goose Creek with Dr. Williams' office. I really loved their office. It was a very relaxed environment. Everyone was super nice, super helpful, and they did great with their teamwork. Whenever I got there, actually, so the first patients were at 8 o'clock, but the hygienist arrived around like 7:40, and they always do a morning huddle every morning just to go over the productivity that they want to do for the day and just have an idea of what their day looks like. Well, there's 3 hygienists. There was one temp there at the time because someone was on maternity leave, Kelly Blanchard, and then Meredith and Heather. So there's 3 hygienists. Well, the appointment that was at 8 o'clock was for a mother and 2 kids, and none of them showed up. So none of the 8 o'clock patients came for the hygiene side, and so they were like, are we getting punked right now? Like, are you really from Trident Tech? Like, where are all our patients? So they actually didn't have any patients at 8 o'clock. Which was fine. So what the 3 hygienists did was they went into the dirty area, made sure they had enough instruments for the day, helped clean anything they could. They set up packs for the rest of their day, made sure that they were prepared, went through patient charts. So as they were saying to me, any downtime you have at the office, if your patient does cancel, there's always something to do. There's no reason to be sitting around. And there wasn't a lot of sitting around there. Even though they were very relaxed and comfortable, they were always moving, always going. They also, 2 of the hygiene ops share a x-ray tube, so it's actually in the wall in a cabinet, so they had to make sure that they knew when the other one was going to be taking x-rays. That way they could kind of time it, and that way they weren't waiting on each other. With instruments, with sharpening, they said that a lot of times they actually don't sharpen instruments. They can ask and be like, hey, we need new instruments, these are dull, and the dentist will order more. But they said if they are sharpening instruments, it's always half and half. The assistants do it sometimes, they do it sometimes, but for the most part, they said that they're spoiled and they get instruments whenever they want. One really cool thing that I really liked about my experience was seeing the Velscope. They have the oral cancer screening tool, and I got to see Heather use it because she's trained in it. And it was also interesting because there was a temp there that day, and she was not trained in the Velscope, so anytime she had a patient she wanted to do an oral cancer screening on, she would actually ask Heather to hop in and do that for her because she wasn't trained in it. So that also showed me another side of the hygienist I was watching, her having to do more time management. That way she would have enough time in between her patient and seeing her patient to be able to hop over to the next operatory and help her do that screening. So just seeing a lot of time management changes throughout the day, a lot of curveballs throughout the day with each patient. For regular SRPs, they usually get an hour and a half for 2 quads. And for new patient evaluation, they get about 50 to 60 minutes, I believe. Let's see. Oh, actually 70 to 80 minutes. So for each regular prophy, they get about 50 minutes, but Heather told me it kind of depends on the patient. So they have patients that have been coming there for years, and they specifically want to see that hygienist. So they said sometimes they can tell the doctor, like, hey, this is an older patient, they're gonna wanna talk for a little bit, so they can give themselves an hour, sometimes an hour and 15 minutes, just to make sure that that patient feels like they're making that connection and having that social outing. So I really liked that about the office. They're very patient-oriented, and I loved that about them. And I think the other thing I wanted to talk about was when I was there, the hygienists I talked to were very motivating, and they were very kind and very positive, especially to someone like me who was a student and excited about going into this field. They were telling me, you know, when you're in school, it seems like this is so daunting and hard, but you're almost there, and once you get out, it's so much fun and such a rewarding career, and I really saw that day. So I left feeling very motivated and excited about my future career. But that's everything that I wanted to talk about. Hope everything is well. Have a good day.